Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Food Junkie coming at you with another video. I'm starting this new thing called Mad Day Monday, so let's talk about it. First, let me give a shout out to Miss D. Ramsey and Miss Deanna Irvin. They made a video yesterday. They was on live together for Cinco de Mayo. Kind of feeling good, you know what I'm saying? Had a couple, libations, adult beverages, cocktails, however you want to call it. It was feeling really good. I went to the live chat with them, They acknowledged me initially, which I will admit to. They did acknowledge me initially. But then I wrote a couple other comments just to, cause trouble, as I usually do in people's chats, but always, in a fun way, never to be malicious or nasty or anything like that. So I wrote like 3 comments back to back, and they didn't say anything about them or even acknowledge them. Because they were talking. I knew they were probably doing their own thing, And so, on like the 4th comment I wrote, since y'all didn't acknowledge my first 3 comments, I need to make a video. That caught their attention and they laughed, they joked. Well, it's not, tried to explain that they did answer it, but Miss D was talking so much that I probably didn't hear Deanna answer or acknowledge my comments, which was fine, which was cool. But then they started throwing a little shade, fun shade, but shade nonetheless, and I loved every minute of it. They had my swag down. They had my little laid-back attitude and personality down. They had it all down, to a science, which was really fun. Had me in the middle of a store I was at just laughing. People looked at me like I was crazy because I was just pretty much on the floor rolling. That was fun. So thank you, Ms. D. Ramsey and Ms. Deanna Irving. I love you, ladies. Just thank you. Appreciate that. The little nudge and acknowledgement. I appreciate that. It's real cool. Now let's get to the topic at hand. Let's talk about what's happened, or what's been happening on these streets over the past several days that I haven't been online, posting, I should say. Well, let's talk about the first thing that was the huge thing, which is James Caldwell and Fibe. I will say, bitch stole my look, but she can't touch what James do, so let's just say Fibe versus James Caldwell, because James Caldwell didn't know what was going on. He's actually blindsided. So one day last week, Fibe had a video, a live, where she felt that it was unnecessarily inappropriate, or appropriate I should say, that James Caldwell compared himself to a woman. Now that was completely wrong. That was completely not what was happening. Well, I did a brief video on it already. But what happened was that, we all know James One Gotta Go game that he plays. It's always fun, always interesting, always a little shady, but in a fun way. So Fibe misunderstood the game, so she led us to believe initially. Then it came out that she was upset because he didn't acknowledge her in his chat. That's where my little shade at Ms. D and Ms. Deanna came from. Because she said that Fibe said that James didn't acknowledge her in his video. So that's why she made a video. And I took that, ran with it, and pulled it off to Miss D. Ramsey and Miss Deanna Irvin on their live. But then I realized that Fibe do that a lot. She goes off the handle on things a lot. She did it with Onsite April, she did it with Kwani, she did it with Nicole Tyler, She does it a lot. She gets on camera and starts venting her feelings and her emotions and breakdowns with people because she feels that, it's her platform, so she can. But you have every right to do that. But at the same time, be responsible for your words. Be responsible for what you do and what you say and how you say it and what you do. Because you are a person that has a platform where people listen to you and acknowledge you, and what you do and what you say. So, in doing that, James made a video, not really saying anything nasty toward her. He just let her know, I apologize if I didn't see you, but that's not my intent. And basically, whatever it is, it is. Then Fibe turned it around, trying to throw shade at James, saying more shade, which she'll never say she did, but we know what it is. We know how it is. We know how she moves. Challenging him to a makeup competition. we seen James' makeup skills. That's all I got to say about that. But since James turned that down, she turned it into a whole YouTube thing, which had a challenge where it was called the Makeup to Breakup competition, which was turned that negative into a positive. And it was held on Saturday, and the rules were, you have to come to the camera bareface on your live and do your makeup online live while giving commentary as well. I think about 8 or 9 people was in the contest. Miss Gina, Joyce, Beauty Blog, Rita the Baddest Roaster, 5A of course, a couple other people as well was in that contest. Asked April, I don't get your ladies and gentlemen names wrong, so I won't say the rest, but there was a lot of other people in that contest as well. The first prize was $100, second prize was $50, or $50 or $75, something like that, and the third prize was $25. So that went down. I watched a couple things. Beauty by Joyce, or Joyce. I'm sorry, Miss Joyce. I forgot your name, sweetheart. Your screen name, I should say. But I love her makeup. I love her transformation from her natural look to her made-up, dolled-up look. She's really a pretty lady. Ask April, same thing with you. You're a very pretty lady. Miss Gina, the Queen of Talk, also a very pretty lady as well. So these ladies did really well. Those are only 3 I watched. I didn't watch all of them. I just watched the final product of them. Because, makeup's not my thing. I really don't care about it like that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I don't give a fuck about that shit. I'm sorry for laughing, but that's something that Miss Deanna and Ms. Ramsey said about me. They were like, you just be laid back, like, I don't give a fuck about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Not in my real life. Because I really don't. It doesn't pertain to me, so I really don't care that much. They also said that they'd be at a 10, I'd be at a 2.5. Really, a 2.5? That's where I'm at? 2.5. Wow. I'll take that, you know what I'm saying? At least they didn't say I was at a 0 with no personality whatsoever, Not everybody's meant to be a 10, So, yeah. That's what happened, I think Miss Gina, Queen of Talk, won. Congratulations to you, Miss Gina. And basically, that was it. So we thought. Tracy Living My Truth. Tracy Living My Truth did not understand what was going on. Like a lot of us didn't understand what was going on with the initial confrontation between 5A and James, or at least I should say with 5A. So Tracy, her and 5A are friends on YouTube, good friends I should say, on YouTube. Tracy was giving commentary. 5A called into Tracy's thing, to her live, and Tracy was asking her, what's going on? What was you thinking? Why did you say what you said? What did James do to you? X, Y, Z, this, and the third. And so, mind you, James already squashed it on his live. He was done with it. He wasn't trying to get involved in the nonsense, you know what I'm saying? He don't do that. He only come off his porch when it's really, really pertinent for him to come off his porch. And I don't think that he took that seriously, so he didn't. He squashed it, you know what I'm saying, when he did his live. So on Tracy's live, 5A was trying to explain, that's her opinion. She said what she said. And she gave some half-ass apology, like, oh, I apologize, but I still mean what I said. You don't understand. If you don't feel like apologizing, don't apologize. Stand in what you said, mean it, and move on. I said what I said, now what? That's how it is. But if you mean what you say, don't apologize for something that you don't mean. Or the apology goes as, oh, I apologize if you got offended by what I said. No. Apologize for being an asshole, for saying some bullshit and some nonsense, if you're going to apologize. Don't apologize for something that you mean, that you feel, that is your true opinion. If it's that, it's that. Either people are going to accept it or not accept it. And whatever they do has nothing to do with you. So, therefore, you should just, move the hell on. Anyway, so Tracy was asking questions. Tracy was confused, you know what Tracy does, She minded her business and ours. You know, love that. Love comment. I told her she should get a t-shirt saying that. You know, she has some t-shirts. Minding my business and yours. Trace, I'm giving you an idea again, baby. My second time giving you this idea. Capitalize on it. But yeah. So they went on to that was not 5A, you know what I'm saying, tried to explain herself, tried to talk her way out of, you know, what she did, what she said. And that was it. But on the same live, James was on that live as well. So Tracy asked him to call in, you know what I'm saying, to tell how he felt about the situation. And like he said, when James said he's over something, he's over it. He's not trying to get involved in it. He's not trying to have these YouTube streets buzzing about some nonsense. So he just basically said what he said he was over it, you know, it is what it is. He see who she is, you know, it is what it is, basically, point blank, period. And that was it. So we thought. Then after the contest went down, 5A gets on her live, pretty much because 5A also is a moderator for Tracy. And so 5A basically tells Tracy, if you're gonna do commentary about me, well, it's not, and I'm not, I don't have a pass on your channel as far as commentary goes. I don't think it's right for me to be a moderator because I can't be in your live chat trying to moderate when you're talking about me. I just don't understand it. I just don't get it, basically, what 5A said. Telling Tracy basically to remove the wrench from her channel and her station. Understandable. I get it. But at the same time, didn't you also say on that live that you were on that if y'all have a problem or issue, you would actually handle that offline? I'm not saying y'all have a problem, not wanting y'all to have a problem, but it seems as though how you move and how you've been moving on these streets, 5A, you move like that quite often. You constantly get into it with people while it's not, and they have to backpedal because you don't think things through. So anyway, Tracy made a video. Basically, she was feeling some kind of way about that. She was hurt, of course, because we all know Tracy. She says her job is to mind her business and ours, so she reports on everything. She is not biased on anyone or any story that's out there on the YouTube streets. If it's out there on the YouTube streets, Tracy's talking about it, basically. You know, and no one's off limits. You know, she talked about Jay Wilson. She talked about, you know, Sean. She talked about James Caldwell. She talked about everybody who have had, you know, beef on these YouTube streets since she started. That's how she got started. She came on these streets swinging, you know. And if you are in some type of conflict or things like that on these streets, Tracy's gonna talk about it, regardless of who you are, how she feel about you as a person or as a content creator. But Tracy removed 5A's wrench, well, it's not. And that's where that let off. Now, the bigger story that been happening over this weekend, of course, you know, we know the same thing with the whole TSCC versus everybody else, basically, camp. That is a little bit more in-depth and involved. So let me run into this store right quick, and I will be right back. Yeah, I apologize about that, you guys. Yeah. So then we know we have the whole TSCC versus everybody thing. You know, everyone's mad, everyone's in their feelings, everyone's upset. You know, TSCC been doing some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Been doing some bullshit for a long time. You know, everyone's talking about it, everyone knows about it, but yet still somehow they still are allowed to do that. Bonnie Bomb, Miss Mullins, Cola, whatever they want to call themselves, you know, the people. Yeah, that is some stuff that is definitely not correct, not right, definitely some nonsense. Stop looking at me, motherfucker. Sorry about that. But yeah, that whole thing, you know, Larry Nelson, all that nonsense, all that mess. One thing I don't understand about the whole situation is this, at least about that situation, that I don't understand is, if he's married and he's sending nude pics or dick pics or explicit pics to other women, why isn't that being addressed? Now, I don't care about adults doing adult things, you know, sending dick pics and pussy pics and titty pics and ass crack pics and shit, licking toe pics, whatever it's gonna be. I don't care about all that. That's not no here or there for me. But if he's sending dick pics to someone and he knows that he's married, first off, what the hell is your wife doing? Why is your wife allowing you to do this and not address the issue? Why is no one discussing that aspect of the situation? And why he's on the mission? His dick pic is not that impressive, so he had to send pictures from nude Africa or from his cousin. That turned these women on. Now, like I said, I'm just reporting what's out there, and I'm not making anything up. I'm not adding anything to it. But I do have to comment on what's out there. He has videos where he's clowning and dogging these women. So, previously, you're talking to these women, asking them to send you nudes or suggestive pictures of themselves, and you'll do the same, making them believe that you want to meet up with them to do whatever, and possibly did whatever with these women, and you're married. Shit, speaking of married, damn, left my ring at the house. Anyway, so yeah, I understand that. But it kind of is, you know, something to talk about, think about, when you're not really that impressive, you know, down there, down under. You try to get as many people as possible to build up your own ego, because God didn't bless you with what, you know, He blessed some with. So it makes sense that you would, you know, search the internet looking at dick pics that you think will be impressive to women, save those, and send those to women that you try to coerce to send you nude pics of themselves. Whatever. You know, childish to me. I don't give a fuck about that bullshit, because it's nonsense, you know. This is the real world. And in the real world, granted, we all have explicit pictures of ourselves, or have had them in the past, you know. My thing is, if someone sends me something and it's not what it is in person, you're cut off. Point blank, period. I'll walk out, walk away, possibly cuss you out, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't waste my time and energy, and my mind racing and doing things, because, you know, and it's not a lot of dick pic at all, because that's not impressing me. Trust me, I have more than enough to impress myself, you know. But, you know, sending me an ass pic or sending me a pussy pic or something that's not you, or even a dick pic that's not you, you know, like how old are you? How childish are you? Are you that embarrassed, that ashamed of what you are, who you are, that you can't just be yourself? You know, it is what it is. It really is what it is. But yeah, I just don't understand that aspect of the whole story, or the whole storyline, or the whole. I didn't follow that aspect of. He's the married one. He's the one with the wife still to this day. But yet, he's online bragging about, you know, getting women to send him pics of themselves, and sending pics of what they thought was himself to them. Like, I don't know what kind of low self-esteem, mentally disturbed people that's on this YouTube shit, but there's a lot of y'all on here, subscribers and content creators, and this is not a clout chase video, as I always say. I have to put that out there because I don't care enough about you to clout chase you, but it is something that is out there, that y'all put out there, that I talk about, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it just makes no sense to me. It's ridiculous. I don't understand grown people in their 40s, business owners, people who are aspiring entrepreneurs and want to start businesses and things, professional people out there acting like they're in middle school. I dealt with that when I worked at a middle school. You know, I dealt with that working with kids, you know, finding kids pictures of themselves, sending pictures of themselves doing things in hallways and stuff like that. Like, you do that when you don't have it available to you, when it's not readily available to you. That's when you do that. You don't do that when you're doing it all the time. Like people who talk about sex all the time. Either you're a nymphomaniac, which nothing's wrong with that, do your thing, you know. I like sex as much as the next person, but when you talk about it all the time, are you really getting it as much as you say you're getting it? Think about that. The people here on YouTube, in their story times, they talk about sex all the time. They had this woman, they had that man, they had this couple, they had that couple. They had 3 4s, threesomes, foursomes, fivesomes, sixsomes, sevensomes. Are you really doing it that much? Are you really that sexually active? Because if you're talking about it that much, my understanding is you're not really doing it that much unless you have a sexual deviancy or some type of emotional tie towards sex that makes you a nymphomaniac. But you know, that's not here or there. Once again, not my business, not my place, but just funny about that. But one person I mentioned earlier that I'm going to spend a little bit more time on is Mrs. Mullins, or as she was once known as Coda. I heard seen several videos about this young lady over the past several days. I didn't know anything about her, either name, Coda or Mrs. Mullins, until I initially saw her on Sean Bradley's channel when he had a live where she asked him to go live so she could tell her story. First off, I never knew about your story. So for you to tell your story, you brought me into your story when I wasn't asking anything about it or knew anything about it. Someone made a good point yesterday and on another Sean Bradley's live, or was it today, a couple days ago, well, wherever it was over the weekend, where they said no one knew about, like a lot of people didn't know about her story, but the people that was actually involved in that story, or people who listened to the TSCC situation and had them bring it out, or the Larry Nelson situation, or the Bonnie Vaughn situation. You know, people that was wrapped up in that situation knew about her story, knew about her. Not a lot of people knew about that story until she brought it onto Sean Bradley's platform and then brought it onto S. Hutchinson's platform, and then brought Kwani into it, and then brought, I'm dropping a lot of names today. Damn. But like I said, when I'm doing these on Mad Day Mondays, I have to, because, you know, y'all won't know what I'm talking about if I'm just saying this person on that platform or that person on this platform. I have to call out where I heard this information from. I have to call out where I've heard it from, where I got it from. Anyways, when she went to all these different platforms, then went back to VS and TCC's platform to cuss her out, confront her, or whatever she did, it's just as if you're asking for, you know, more attention to be drawn to a situation that is so embarrassing for you. You know, she said that on Sean, initially when I heard it, my heart did go out to her, because, you know, no one wants to feel responsible for being the cause of a death of a grandchild, especially someone that you truly love. As she said, she loves her daughter. You know, she felt responsible. She felt responsible for the fact that her daughter lost her grandchild because she brought too much stress on her daughter based on the situation with these nude pics and all the situations that went on. You know, these several adults swapping nude pics with Larry Nelson. I don't understand that. I'm scratching my head on that. Now, I don't understand. Like, somebody who is self-admitted not that impressive down there between your legs. And then your wife also said on a channel, I forgot what channel it was on, that you can't even get erect like that. So what are you showing people? Like, I'm sorry, this is not, and I don't mean to, you know, bash this man or try to embarrass this man, you know, anything like that. But I'm just so confused by someone who don't have much to show to begin with, someone with possible alleged erectile dysfunction. What are you doing? But then it makes sense to me, because if you're not that impressive down in between your legs and you have possibly erectile dysfunction, allegedly, you would go to a sex site, pick up pics, and then try to pass it off as yourself. Especially if you never plan on, meeting these women. But why do you find the women that has low self-esteem, or have women that are, in your commentary now, unattractive, fat, ugly, nasty, and dirty? I saw a video that he made where he cussed out, I don't know who he cussed out. Was it Ronnie Vaughn? I think it was. He done cussed her out for an hour, telling her that she never had a man to lick between her toes and suck her breasts and kiss her neck and touch her face and all this nonsense. And the woman who told you that you were pretty, you want to shit on. Why are you, a married man, telling a woman that she's pretty anyway, that she should feel better about herself? And don't tell me this bullshit about, you want her to build up her self-esteem. So you build her self-esteem by sending her a dick pic of your cousin or someone else? So I just went there in my head, because it's like, no, you have to build up her self-esteem. They did this too. I do that. Miss D. Ramsey, you ain't shit. You ain't shit, nor are you Miss Deanna Irvin. Y'all are not shit, but I love y'all anyway. Not shit in a good way, because I do that. Anyway, so, yeah. How are you trying to, build up her self-esteem when you're sending her pictures of someone that's not you? It sounds like you're trying to build up your self-esteem as well, because you're not so impressive down there. I'm just saying, I don't understand it, but, it's not my place to understand. It's not my place to get. People have their own things that need to work out and work within and deal with. But I just don't understand it. Like, you cussed the lady out for an hour. Like, literally cussed her out. Maybe, just tried to dog her. And if she didn't have low self-esteem, she probably would have. Saying the only way she could get a tingle was if she used a vibrator, no one would ever touch between her legs and all this stuff. Then what was y'all talking about then? What was your conversation with her then for so long about? If you wasn't trying to touch in between her legs, or at least make her feel comfortable enough to think that you wanted to feel in between her legs, and make her body quiver like you said it should. It's just that she would never experience, like stuff like that. I don't get it. You're a grown ass man, dude. You're a grown ass man. What the fuck you doing that shit for? How the fuck you gonna talk to a woman that way, for one? And how you gonna be married and talk to a woman that way? Like, your wife, I'll be quiet. Be quiet. Like, it makes no sense. Like, I don't get that at all. That I don't get at all. I don't understand it. I don't get it. That's something I can't comprehend. I think only a loser would do that. I mean, for real, like, you have to be a loser. You have to be. Like, and not calling you a loser because you're a loser, but that's somebody with a personality or a mindset that I can't get behind or get around or get through any of those things. Like, I just don't understand it. I really just don't understand it. I'm really confused. And it threw me off my whole commentary. I still got my point and a pin at my point. But right now, I'm on a little soapbox. Because I don't get it. How are you, someone that's not that too impressive, calling someone that you say is ugly and fat and bald head with a big forehead and all this other stuff that you said, have an older and all these other things, well, it's not. Then you bring in other content creators into it to try to roast her based on what they said. I don't get that. Have your own jokes, have your own gags, have your own roasts and things like that. But whatever. Like I was saying, back to Miss Mullins and or Coda, whatever her name is, I don't know. I didn't know anything about you until you was on Sean's platform. Then I saw you on Ed Hutchinson's platform. Then I saw you on the phone with Kwani. Then I saw you, going back to TSCC and talking to her and cussing her out and trying to get her straight. Then I saw the video she cut up and chopped up with you saying nothing was her fault, you did everything on your own recognizance and things like that. Do y'all not know every time y'all talk to this lady or that group, they're going to twist and turn your words around against you and use it against you? Like, are y'all not smart enough to realize that, you know, what you're doing is playing right into their hands, doing exactly what they want you to do? Are y'all not smart enough to realize that, you know, you're not going to win that situation with them because they play on a different level than everyone else plays on? Oh, what's up, Sean? See, I can look. You know, I can look. I'm not going to touch. I'm not sending nude pictures to people anymore. But I can look. You know, I can think to myself all day long, but yeah, no, not doing it. Big head fucker, what you looking at? See, I'm like a stripper. I can touch you, but you can't touch me. I can look at you, but don't look at me. Oh, I'm so silly sometimes. See, I almost blew up this police officer in front of me because he didn't go in the green light. The light don't get any greener, sucker. Anyway, so, yeah. I didn't know about your situation until you brought it to my attention. And like someone said yesterday, or whatever day it was, that Sean had a live and a call in. No one is saying that you are not worthy of forgiveness or worthy of retribution or being redeemed. No one's saying that at all. What people are trying to say to you, Ms. Mullins, Coda, whatever you go by, I'm not quite sure, because I don't know you, I'm sorry, so hopefully this is not disrespectful toward you whatsoever, is that we wouldn't have known about it because we don't follow TSCC. We wouldn't have known about it if you didn't bring it to our attention. We would have known about it if you didn't make it front and center. I understand why you did it. I understand why you did it. I really do. You were quiet. When everything was going down, you fell back. You fell back, you laid low, you stayed quiet, didn't bring it up, didn't do anything, whatever like that. A couple of weeks ago, a month ago or so, your name got brought up again in this whole Larry and Bonnie Vaughn situation. I get it. I understand it. So you felt it was your duty, your right to, you know, come redeem yourself. I totally get that, as anyone would. But in saying that, you only acknowledge people whenever you want to, actually, as you're a grown-ass person. You know, they might tell you what to do. But when you know that someone is attention-seeking, when someone is thirsty for attention, is thirsty to stay front and center, you don't give them that. You kill them by silencing them, by staying silent about that situation. You could have been on your platform talking about anything else. You could have been on your platform or doing interviews talking about anything else but that. And the fact that they sent your information to your son's job in the military is repulsive. Is repulsive. It is ridiculous, repulsive, is malicious, it's nasty, it's dirty, it's just disgusting. But I know you know this already. If you didn't put yourself in a situation, it wouldn't have happened. Speaking of putting yourself in a situation, this goes not only for you, Ms. Mullins, but everyone else involved in that situation over there, and everyone else that is caught up in that whole thing with them. If you know, I say this all the time, I say this in at least 15, 20 videos that I have. If you know what someone is capable of doing to someone else, what make you think that you are so special that they will not do it to you? If I see that I'm in a group of people, or I'm looking from the outside in at a group of people, and I see that they are steal from each other, steal from someone else, why the fuck would I invite you to my home so you can possibly steal from me? If I see that you are manipulative, I see that you are backstabbing and backbiting and just treacherous to someone else, What is it that makes me think that I am so special that you won't do the same thing to me? If I see that you have no cool and no chill on someone else, what makes you think that you won't do it to me? So I understand why people in that group or over there do what they do for this group, or this individual, I should say, because, they feel that they can't afford to stand alone. They feel that they can't do it by themselves. They can't leave anymore, so they have to do what this individual asks them to do, or else she will turn on them. Allergy, sorry. If they don't do what she asks them to do, she's going to turn the heat and pressure up on them. So that's why they do the doxing for her. That's why they do the money laundering for her. That's why they do all these other illegal things they do for her. Like, I don't understand why people don't get that or don't understand that. I get that aspect of it was now, but I don't understand putting yourself in a position to be led astray or led down that direction. And Sean made a pretty good point on that live he had as well, that if he started off singing, dancing, and doing all these good things, and gathered this following and this group and these subscribers behind him that loved and supported him, when he slowly started doing fuck shit, they may not understand it. What's going on was that they may be like, oh, that's different. That's a different platform that he's doing right now. That's a different way he's turning. And if you do it gradually, little by little, by the time that he's on some real fuck shit, everyone in that group that haven't left because they wasn't down for the fuck shit at the very, very beginning, is all caught up in the fuck shit now with him. And when they decide to leave, they ask, why was you there anyway? Well, initially we were baking cookies. Initially we were, braiding each other's hair. You know what I'm saying? Initially we was, just having slumber parties and having fun. It starts off gradually. It's called grooming, people. Grooming. And since this individual is so caught up on molestation and things like that, she knows all about grooming people to get them to do what they want to do. To get them to do what she wants them to do. That's what grooming is. I tell you you're pretty. I tell you you're positive. I tell you that I love you. I tell you that no one else can treat you the way I treat you. No one else makes me feel the way you make me feel. No one else can do what I can do for you. No one else will love you the way I will ever love you. They don't understand you. I do. They don't love you. I do. I need you. You need me to feel good about yourself. You need me to survive. All that's grooming, people. And this person knows also well how to do that. Well, how to do that with weak-minded people, and people who need love, who seeks out this love. I made a video a couple weeks ago about people who wants to be molded. If you're not easily molded, you don't fall for that nonsense that she tries to pull. If you're not weak-minded, and no offense to anybody who's over there, but if you're not weak-minded, you don't fall for that. If you have a sense of self-worth within yourself and integrity within yourself, you don't fall for those type of games. You don't fall for that nonsense. No one can tell me that I'm more important than I already feel that I am. No one can tell me that I am better than I already know that I am. You know what I'm saying? No one can tell me that, they make me or they can break me. You can't make shit. You can't make me a sandwich. You can't do nothing for me at all that I can't do for myself. I know this may come across as kind of harsh, but not. This is my Mad Day Mondays, though. You know what I'm saying? It's what it is. This is what it is. That's why I encourage people who watch my videos to go back and check out my videos from the very beginning, because this is where I've always been. I haven't come as hard with it, well, it's not, but this is always what I say that I do. I'm going to see what I see. I'm going to speak on it. I'm going to tell the truth about it. I may be a fairly new YouTuber, well, it's not, but I'm not new to YouTube or to life. I see this stuff happening all the time. I see people who wants to be groomed, who wants to be molded, who wants to be accepted so bad that they would do anything and everything they have to do in order for someone to accept them. Tell them they're pretty and stroke their hair. They put it in your hands. Buy them something. Ooh, they'll love you forever. Cook them a meal. They'll never leave. Give them a little kiss here and there. You know what I'm saying? Let them touch on you. Send them a picture. They think they're yours. You know? It happens all day long. In the real world, and apparently also often in this virtual world. I don't understand it. I don't get it. You know, because I've always been an individual that had very high self-esteem. I knew who I was. I know what I'm about. I know what I'm going to do, what I won't do, you know. Yeah, it's just funny to me. Not funny in a ha-ha way, funny in a sad way, because it's like, you know, when you allow people to treat you a certain way, they will always treat you that way until you decide to demand different, to demand better. People only can treat you the way you allow them to treat you. People can only do to you what you allow them to do to you. Because I'll be damn. This sorry. I'll be damned if I let somebody make me feel less than what I know I am. I am smart. I am kind. I am beautiful. And I'm worthy. No, I am kind, smart, beautiful, and worthy, though. I really am. You know, even if I say so myself. But, you know, I have a good support team in my real life that, you know, advocates for me, that tells me the truth, regardless if I want to hear it or not. And that's just what it is. People need to not be afraid to hear the truth about themselves, you know? We all have flaws. No one is perfect. No one is perfect. We all have flaws. And when we allow ourselves to recognize those flaws and deal with those flaws that we have, we become better people. When we allow ourselves to, you know, look at ourselves honestly in the mirror, we allow ourselves to be better people. When we allow ourselves to, you know, look in the mirror and see what's in front of us opposed to what we choose to see, we become better people. We become stronger people. We become more independent people. We don't need someone to validate us. We don't need someone to, you know, tell us that we are worthy of love, of support, of compassion, of, you know, anything that we need to survive. Granted, no one is an island, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to just find a parking spot. No one's an island. No one can make it on them by themselves all the time. But you have to be comfortable enough with yourself to be by yourself. You have to be comfortable enough to, you know, recognize that, you know, at some point in time, the only person that really have control over you is you. The only person that will be there to pick up the slack for you is you. You know, a couple people that I mentioned in this video that I really like. I really enjoy watching. I really respect the content that they have. Not only the content that they have, but the people that they are. And that is Miss D. Ramsey, you know, because she made a good point a couple weeks ago when she said that you have to be able to take care of yourself and have some type of marketable skills and multiple streams of income. As you guys may know or may not know, my new subscribers may not know, I have several jobs, you know. I work pretty much, you know, 6 or 7 days a week, every week. I have days off and times off throughout the day, whatever. But for the most part, I'm constantly working, constantly busy, because I want to be able to take care of myself. If everything fails and everything goes down and held in a handbasket, I know that I'm financially secure. And I keep myself marketable and having a skill set that I can go anywhere at any point in time and do that. Market myself, be myself, and take care of myself. You know, I like how people move on these YouTube streets. I'm not gonna name their names, but I mentioned them throughout this video. You know, I like how they move. I like how they carry themselves, you know, their posture, you know, on these YouTube streets. They understand that this is something virtual. Just understand that this is not the end all be all. This is not life. Oh, those pretty little girls. Oh, poor babies. Poor babies. Sorry. But yeah, you know, I'm sorry. I don't believe in putting weaves in little girls' hair. I don't believe that. I don't believe in that. I think that's sending wrong messages to people, to those little girls. But anyways, that's not here or there. Back to what I was saying. Yeah, I think that, you know, you need to be able to take care of yourself, believe in yourself. And if things aren't working out for you, it's not be strong enough to pack up your stuff and walk away from things, you know. Not everyone that says it for you is for you. And not everyone that you think that is against you is against you. Sometimes people just want to hit you with some hard facts and give you some honest truth. Who am I to give you some honest truth? I'm nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm just food junkie, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about you, you probably don't give a fuck about me. But I also not putting my personal business out there on the street and to expect people not to judge me for it. You know, I'm not putting my personal information out there and my personal body parts out there and then expecting things to be all rosy and cool. I understand that when people get mad on mad days, like this Monday, anything's liable to come out. We've seen it also many times, especially on these YouTube streets. Y'all are best friends, y'all are family, that's your auntie, that's your uncle, that's your son, that's your cousin, that's your mama, that's your daddy, whoever friendly you say they are. And as soon as you get mad at them, here comes the receipts. Here comes the tapes of the phone calls. Here comes the emails, the text messages. Here comes all this nonsense. Here comes the sex pics being sent to your damn family members. Here comes phone calls to your church, phone calls to your jobs, phone calls to your family, trying to get your family to do interviews about you. What the fuck do people want to know about me? Besides what I tell you. And unless you experienced it, you can't say anything. Because you don't know firsthand. And all these interviews, oh, I'm interviewing this person right here. Who are you to interview anybody? What are your credentials to interview somebody? Are you Diane Sawyer? Are you Barbara Walters, Oprah Winfrey, Gayle King, Robin Roberts? Shit, are you even Megyn Kelly? You know what I'm saying? Like, all the people thinking that they have these interviewing skills, and all you're doing is asking questions that really no one cares about, really. Anyone with a real life, in the real life, don't care about what someone else is doing in their bedroom, or what someone else is doing behind closed doors, or what someone else is doing, you know what I'm saying, if they're not breaking the law. But anyways, it's been a little long. It's, damn, 40 minutes. Anyways, yeah, it's still a long. But yeah, that's my Mad Day Mondays for today, May 6, 2019. But like I say, if you like my content, come to my channel, visit, peruse it, look at a couple things. And if you like what you see, please subscribe, comment, and like. Sorry, I'm just being distracted, keep my eyes on the swivel. And as I also always say, love yourself, then love someone else. Respect yourself, and respect someone else. Until next time, next Monday, this is Food Junkie, and I'm out. But first, let me read my shirt. It says, sarcasm, just one of my many talents. I may be low-key, and at a 2.5, Ms. D and Ms. Deanna. But it's time for me to go there. I can go there. Y'all have a great day. Peace.